Southern Louisiana is like a really underreported place. This area is so representative for the country, but there's like not a ton of people covering it. People need these stories to be told, and I'm here, so it would be kind of silly if I didn't tell them. We left about 4:30 this morning from New Orleans, and now we are headed to Pigeon Landing, which is like deep into Cajun country in the Atchafalaya Basin. We are about to go out onto the Bayou with Jody, a crawfisherman. He's going to show us the area that's going to be affected by the proposed Bayou Bridge Pipeline.
The Bayou Bridge Pipeline is a proposed extension of an existing crude oil line in southern Louisiana. It would be the latest of dozens of oil and gas pipelines that already crisscross the state. It's a joint project between 3 energy companies, including the one behind the Dakota Access Pipeline, which sparked massive protests last year. After spending nearly a month in Standing Rock shooting for outlets such as NPR and the New York Times, photojournalist Emily Kask came to Louisiana to document this new pipeline fight.
So we're out here at Pigeon Landing right now. We're waiting for Jody, the crawfisherman, to come take us out on his boat, but I should probably make sure that I'm kind of ready to shoot when he gets here. Okay, yeah, I have a lot of random shit in here right now. I always carry an extra pair of shoes with me just in case, God forbid, who knows what happens. And then socks too, obviously. My memory cards, my 70-200. I've got my 85, a rain cover. I've got a 105, a nifty 50. I've got a 28 and my 35 on my 2 bodies right now. A press pass, etc. And business cards on the side here somewhere. A pair of goggles. This is a phone charger. I got this out when I was out hopping trains, and it charges my phone like 10 times. Are you Jody?
Yeah.
Jody, hi, I'm Emily.
How you doing, Emily?
Great, so nice to meet you in person.
Good to meet you too.
Good to meet you. So much of my time as a photojournalist is not spent actually making photographs. You have to get really involved with the community and kind of understand why something like this pipeline is impacting these people and get to the heart of it, get to their lives.
Unlike in North Dakota, the toughest pushback in Louisiana is coming from local blue-collar workers who are worried about their jobs. On the front lines are people like Jody Mesh, a commercial fisherman. He's concerned that yet another pipeline project could further disrupt the delicate natural habitat he depends on for his livelihood.
I'm gonna show y'all miles and miles and miles of pipelines and spoil banks before I get to where my traps are. So You're gonna have a good idea how much of a damming effect it has all across our basin. They're all in violation of the permits.
The Bayou Bridge extension would cross the largest wetland in the country, called the Atchafalaya Basin. It's the primary source of Louisiana's crawfish industry, which contributes more than $300 million to the state's economy every year. Local fishermen have earned a living there for generations.
When I'm going out on an initial see around like this, I'm thinking about what kind of photographs do I need to illustrate this story? What kind of general moments do I need to capture? What are the whats that I need to get? So really seeing this for the first time, taking it in, and also thinking about, okay, these things that he's bringing up, these things that am I seeing, how am I gonna tie this into the rest of the town around here? How am I gonna tie this into the parishes around here?
I think they think you just go out and you bait up some crawfish traps and you catch a boatload of crawfish and you make a killing, you get rich. Far from it. We make a poor man's living, there's no doubt about it.
The environment is something that people are kind of starting to care about a lot more, and how these pipelines are affecting water and how water affects our lives and water affects everything, and there's a lot of people getting vocal about that issue.
I wouldn't say I'm an extreme environmental activist, like let's say everybody calls them tree huggers and stuff like that, but I love trees, and I don't want them see them cut.
A lot of journalists have become activists now, and a lot of activists become journalists. And if you are an activist who tries to be a journalist, you're not really telling the story in its fullest. You're telling the story how, you see things. It's a hard balance to ride, but you have to kind of listen to everybody on both sides of things and be fair and try to be as objective as possible. I'm making the same picture and over again with slightly different, view in the background, and it's like a fairy tale out here. It's so beautiful. I don't think people really realize how much time we put into assignments. You can see a 12-image photo story, and that could take somebody a year to make those 12 photos that really tell that story right. You know what I mean? You can't go do it in an afternoon and bang off 12 frames and be like, sick, I got it. Things take a lot of time when you care about them and do it right.
Construction hasn't started on the Bayou Bridge pipeline yet, but in April the project received one of 3 permits it needs to go forward. Meanwhile, Emily continues to cover the story from all sides.
Oh my gosh, the final project. I mean, that's gonna be, a long time from now. I try not to have too many expectations of where I'm gonna end up for work, because then what's the fun of it, But I'm so happy that I get to be in these places. Whoa, what was that? I don't know, something big flipped up.
I don't think I have a favorite yet. This is just the start of it. These photos will be part of that greater story, and also these connections and meeting these people will just kind of, fill it out and lead it into where it's supposed to go.